Curse words and sarcasm were used in the making of this video.
There isn't nothing like starting your video off with a little flaky finger. First come, first serve. Anyways, this is Jamie back from Potty Mouth Crafters Society and Salty Card Creations, joining my other personality on Inky and Scrappy with the Get Creeping on Halloween make for February 2025. I got this one gifted to me from the fabulous Amy File, and so because she knows my love of Halloween runs deep, and my love of flicky middle fingers also runs very deep, or really front and center, let's be honest. And so I finally got around to inking this one up. It just, the last day of the month always sneaks up on me. Does anyone else have that happen? Okay, maybe it does for everyone, but ultimately I usually am struggling to get my make done for my other channel, and I don't have time to make one for this channel. This month, I switched it up and I got it done. Look, I'm as surprised as the rest of you are, okay? Alright, so I inked this one up. I think I'm using a Fawn's Jet Black ink on some Xpress cardstock, and then I will stamp those out. I think I ended up stamping them twice. I don't ever pre-treat or, condition my stamps before I stamp. I just go with it. That's why I use a stamp platform, right? I don't have time for that. I mean, it probably is about the same time as me stamping it twice, but whatever. Sometimes I'd end up stamping it twice anyways, so I don't know. In my mind, I'm saving time. So the inky background was kind of like me picking up the sludge from when my niece was here, because she doesn't understand that I don't like wasting my Distress mica spray stains, and so she was very liberal while she was making her otter river with them, and so I just added a little bit more water to my spray bucket and picked it all up, and I ended up with two pretty cool backgrounds. So, and it ended up green because I didn't clean it out beforehand, and so that's the colors that mixed together. I did bring in a Fawn's glow-in-the-dark paste for this one. I'm bringing in one of Tim Holtz's mini stencils. This is a Halloween one. It's like funky branches or spooky branches or something. I don't know. I just know I thought the look of it would be kind of fun. You can't see it so much, I guess in real life you can see it, that it's there. I haven't brought it into a dark room yet to see if it really glows in the dark. So I will try that, grab a picture if it does, maybe, and try to get it on my, so I'll put it in the Potty Mouth Crafters Society Facebook group. There we go. So if you don't know about Potty Mouth Crafters Facebook group, the link is down below. Go check it out. You have to answer some questions. You have to be over 18 because, obviously we use a lot of flicky finger stuff and adult things and themes. So anyways, back to this one. I left me picking my colors out, so I tried to go with colors that were going to kind of go very well with the background that I had, but lighter because I want, they're ghosts, so obviously they're supposed to be see-through-ish, right? So I kind of brought in my color palettes and kind of went from there. So I did end up, I think I grabbed colors from both the Honolulu and the Oahu line, and I just kind of made it work. I will say this, there are colors that are unique to both of them that work really well together across the two marker styles. I wish they would have all the colors in both all the time. I mean, that's just me being me. But ultimately, because they don't, that's why I have both sets. Plus, I was struggling to find, I don't know, how shall I say, some of those in-between colors, and some of them have, I can't remember which set has more browns. I think the Oahu has more brown tones, and the Honolulu has more green and blue tones or something. I don't remember. I did it in my video on my other channel. I kind of did the comparison. Anyways, I pulled two greens, so a darker green and then a lighter green and then a blue kind of in between because I wanted to add some different colors. I've been doing this a lot, like bringing in a second color that's not my normal color on my alcohol ink marker coloring stuff, like either ice or anything that's see-through to kind of bring in some, I don't know, I've been having fun with it. Anyways, there are my images all colored up. They really didn't take that long. It was just a matter of kind of laying down my shadow areas and then just going over the whole thing with the lightest tone. I thought about not coloring the whole thing, kind of keeping them white, but I kind of like the little green ghosty goals. I think they're kind of cute. And then it really sets it off when I finally bring in that I'm just bringing in a dark, what is it, a blue-gray marker, so the darkest one, and just adding that into the mouth spaces, and I really think it makes those just pop. I don't know, it gives their expressions just something else. So I have those cut out with my brother's Scan and Cut. I tried to do a second run with them on, like, I'll take off my sheet of paper and then put another sheet of paper down and then it'll recut for what I wanted to do, but it didn't work, and I was on Craft Chat and said F it, and you know, just I was like, well, whatever, they'll just be hanging out in the back, it's all good. So this is what I would call kind of like a magic slider. So I actually have another video coming up hopefully next week. I just have to get the edits done this week. That kind of, it's, I don't know, it's fun to use the magnets. So I have some somewhere hidden in my craft room. So I ended up going online on Amazon and finding some more because I was done looking. I looked and I couldn't find them in all of the normal places. Anyways, if anyone knows where my refills are for my Honolulu markers or my Oahu markers, let me know because I can't find those either. That's what happens when I clean. Anyways, so I picked up these. It was like a 400 pack of these. They're a millimeter thick, so they're like paper thin, and they're okay size-wise, but they're super strong because they're the super strong rare earth magnet type things. And yeah, so this way you don't have to put a slider channel on the front of your card. Keep in mind, if you're sending this to little kids, it's probably not the, you know, you've got to be careful with the magnets. I would definitely sandwich them. That's what I did with my other card. Granted, that is not a little card at all. Anyways, sandwich them between two die cuts. That's why I was trying to cut out a second one. I didn't need the stamped image. I just wanted a second cut of the die cut. So keep that in mind if you're doing it that way. So right now I'm just building kind of my slider and my slider channel. Because it doesn't actually have a channel that it has to sit in, like the Lawn Fawn Let's Toast Die, it's really just this piece of paper that's going to sit in a, you know, channel made with foam tape. I also wanted to have all of my ghosts move, not just one. So I added a T-piece on the bottom here, and then I'm going to add my magnet on there. I did add another piece of paper over the top. I like to do score tape and glue with my magnets just to make sure that they're going to stick and stay in place. But by doing this sandwich, I'm not worried about them hitting on anything and hopefully not knocking loose. I probably could have gone with a little bit thicker paper on the bottom, but I was in Crafty Chat. I really didn't care. I'm going to be honest. It worked for me. So this is where when I add the magnets on the back of these, I would have much rather had a sandwich piece, especially for a card like this that maybe would find a little kid, granted with the sentiment that I use on this one, and the little flicky finger of the top ghost there. Obviously, it's, not intended for a child, but keep that in mind because you don't want little ones to swallow those little magnets or animals. And so I made sure that it was going to move, and it moves fairly well. Now keep in mind that maybe you want to put your magnet on and pick it up from the back side before you glue on your image, because I didn't do it the right way on the inside one, and I think I did it this one too. So yeah, because the magnet is going to repel on one side and it's going to attract on the other. Well, I wasn't paying that close of attention, and so I had the repel to the other one, which, I mean, it works because it still kind of stays on there and it's going to kind of dance a little bit more. But I really wanted it to actually stay on there. So I'm working on building my channel stoppers now. So just coming in with that one layer of foam tape. Granted, this is like a 3mm thick foam tape, I think. 2mm? No, I think it's a 3mm thick. So one layer of foam tape. It's a little bit heavier. Maybe it's even just a 2. But because those magnets are so thin, it works really well for them. And so I'm just going to pop this one onto my card front once I put in my bottom stopper and my top stopper. That's all I have for that's going to hold that pull tab in. And then, of course, once it's glued down to my card front, it will stay in place. So I'm just making sure everything is put into place. I mean, granted, the whole front, like, all the images pop off, but, you know, yeah, but not really. So I should have cut out a notch before I glued it all down. Yeah, I remembered after I had the glue on it, and I was just like, I can't even, yeah, I'll just try to do it this way. So I tried bringing in my little notcher thingies. They were still just really too thick to get in there. I kind of got one of them in there. I just ended up hand cutting it out. Whatever. It is what it is. So once I was done with that and cleaned up all of my mess, I mean, I didn't really clean up all of my mess. The garbage that was easy to throw in the garbage can got put in the garbage can. And then I will come in and do that front part here. Yeah, I'm going to play with this. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably played with it more than I actually spent time-wise on doing it. Sentiment. I needed a sentiment. And I was going to go with Don't Like Halloween on the top. But I was like, it needs something else. Like, I was just not. And then, because I was going to do the If You Don't Like Halloween, and then I was going to do, like, the whole, like, one of the, that's Bushi on underneath, but they were a little bit too big to hide underneath the ghost, so when I wanted it, when you lifted up the ghost, it would say, you know, whatever, right? It didn't work. So I ended up bringing in the Spooky Bitch stamp set from Ink Road Stamps. This one was last year's Halloween release, and of course, I decided to go with Can't Talk Right Now, doing Spooky Bitch shit. I thought that one worked fairly well. So I will put that one on some black cardstock, treated with some anti-static powder, using a VersaMark ink, sorry. And then I'm going to use Brutus Monroe's Alabaster White embossing powder. So I will put that on there, make sure it looks good, kind of get most of the white off, heat set it, and then I will come back and cut it out. So it is heat set here. I just cut out that part of the video. I was trying to save you a couple of minutes, and I didn't get it good where you can actually see it melt, so that's my favorite part of watching that anyway, so no harm, no foul. So I did just cut this one with my guillotine cutter. Ooh, I didn't use the die cut. I know, it's very uncommon. So I just trimmed that one down. I used the little guide on there that's supposed to help hold your fingers back from the blade as my guide to cutting and matting my sentiment so it looks equidistant. So I was playing with putting that one upside, you know, like crooked or whatever. I ended up just putting some score style tape on it because I have that embossing, or not embossing, but because I have that glow in the dark powder, and then of course I added glue as well. Now this is where I realize I'm going to need to add another, so I just add another magnet behind my front one here. I mean, you know, I have 394 of them yet, so I'll be fine, right? So I just picked up the magnet with the other one, added a little bit of glue, and then it stays on there just fine. And it, adds another millimeter of height, so it's not that big of a deal. So if your images aren't staying on there, just add another magnet behind. Yeah, because it'll just be a little bit stronger. So added some score tape and some glue to make sure that it was going to stick and stay stuck. And then, of course, I will add that one back on there. But this way you can kind of play with all of your little critters or your little ghosts. You can move them around, pop them off. You know, if they want to throw the card away and put the ghosts on the fridge, I guess they have that option. I will haunt them, but, you know, they have that option. I am also bringing in some freaking bats from Amy File. Thank you, Amy. I had mentioned in one of my other videos that I needed some more, you know, confetti bats. Either confetti style bats. I think these ones are the confetti ones. She also may have given me some, what are they called? Like clay bit bats? Yeah. All the freaking bats. It's awesome. So I pulled in some bats because it just needed something else. So I decided bats was the way to go. Cutting them down in half and using them here and there to make it look like they're going off of the card front, kind of extending the scene there. And then I did end up putting a bat on my pull tab thingy. I just felt it needed something, and a bat was like an arrow, right? It's like the bat signal, man. It's up there. So I'm going to add that onto there, and then I did end up cutting it out again a little bit because it was off-centered, and yeah. Should have I remembered to do the little die cut thingy before I glued it on the front? Yes. Will I remember next time? God, I hope so. Anyways, it is what it is. So I'm just going to pre-cut this one here. I just want to cut so you can still grab the pull tab. I didn't need it to be that long. I want it to fit into an A2 size envelope. Hopefully. I haven't tried it yet. We'll see. I have some bigger ones if I need to. But this way they just kind of move around. I love the fact that they just kind of hang out and then they move around a little more freely. So with my extra ghost, because I didn't end up sticking that one onto the front of my card, I put a magnet on here and I put it on the rappel side for the front of my card. So he can be put on, or she can be put on the front of the card, like interchangeable, but she kind of dances a little bit more than the other one does. So it is what it is. And then for my inside sentiment, I went with the really don't give 2 sheets. You know, because I'm busy doing spooky bitch shit. Anyway, so I added the magnet onto the back side of this one. And then I added the glue on the other. And then I stuck it down. And then once it's stuck down, then you can remove your magnet piece from the front. It's kind of fun to do, you know, the little magnet pieces. Yeah, that's when I realized that I did not put it on the right way. But it'll still go up. It just will kind of dance a little bit more. Anyways, there is my completed spooky bitch shit card with the little flicky finger ghosts and all the fun things. Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Keep being salty. Play along with the Get Creeping on Halloween hashtag as well, either here on YouTube or on Instagram. Follow me. All my contact information is below for my other channel, this channel, the Facebook group, all the things. All right, take care, or not, whatever. Fuck you.